Hey everyone, this is Robin again from the Good Place Bench. And as you see, I have a crowd. We have fans on the Good Place Bench. Throughout the day, we've been talking to many different people, different placemakers about how they, create better cities of the future. And this is all part of the Design for All theme during Placemaking Week 2025 here in Reggio Emilia. Beautiful weather out here today. And it's a crowd, but who do we have here next to me?
I am Evelina. I am Ruta, and next to me is Evelina. We are from Lithuania, and we have an NGO called Culture Workshop, or in Lithuanian, Kultūros Dirbtuvė. And we do regenerative placemaking.
Regenerative placemaking. For everyone who has no idea about regenerative placemaking, what is it all about?
That's right.
Sorry, wrong person.
Excellent question. It is about looking into places and also really deeply trying to understand what they are. And it's about creating environments for life to thrive in any place that we go to, where we live, which we care about. In short, that's what it means for me.
Okay.
I can add that we try to, with all our activities, we try to encourage people to become stewards of the place in ecological sense and in cultural sense.
Mm-hmm. Stewards, as in taking responsibility of the place or drive change.
Yes, and to encourage it and to come up with ideas and maybe to enable others to do what maybe they are not very brave to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the city we call it more like citizen initiatives, right? Or citizen engagement, stewardships. And you do that where in Lithuania?
Evelina actually started in Kaunas, in the second biggest city in Lithuania, and I joined a few years later. And now, after 8 years of collaborating, we're trying to step into other cities in Lithuania.
Lithuania for now. And how could you highlight some projects that that visualize it?
Yes, so I started working in a neighborhood where I grew up. It's a blocks of flats area or council estate. In some areas they would call it. It's called Šilainiai in Kaunas. It's a neighborhood of 70,000 people, so it's quite a big place. It's really special for me. It's my home. And as I'm a trained artist, so I started with this feeling of wish to bring art and culture to public places in this neighborhood, because as an artist, there's no non-commercial space for me to share my work except the local library. So for 70,000 people, it could be better. But we have places like walkways, we have places where we play basketball, or some people play basketball. And we have these green spaces that are really, for me, look like there's a lot of potential. So I started programming different events, workshops, inviting different artists from all around the world to come to this neighborhood and to create arts. Either sculpture, performance, photography of various kinds. And that grew. At first, it was very strange for people, what is happening, but everybody was very curious and very positive. And really, this bringing arts and culture closer to people's homes was really fantastic and really meaningful for me. And also creating possibility and this possibility to imagine these unconventional, let's say, places in the neighborhood or blocks of flats that you can go out and experience something cultural, participate in something, learn something new, maybe see a performance art for the first time in your life and find out what that is, and maybe get curious about it. So that went really well. Then I was invited to a place which is a First World War fortress, which also happens to be in the same neighborhood. It's called Fort Number 8, and did some cultural programming there, and it became a culture center. In summer, it's a green space with some hills, with some tunnels. I can go inside, and on the side of it, on the side of the fortress, there used to be urban gardens, and there still is urban gardens, and that's the project where we started working with Ruta. And right now, it is the largest public urban gardens in Lithuania. Around 160 people garden there, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. I invite everybody to come there if they visit Kaunas.
Wow. 160 people. Very cool. Quickly rewinding back, like, this is amazing. But I mean, that also, you need to seek collaboration, right? Partnerships. Or did you just do?
Absolutely. I trained as an artist, so I did not know nothing about, planning, about heritage, about soil quality. A lot of questions that you have, and I had, thinking about urban gardens or activities in public space. You need permissions, you need all of these things. So it was essential to find Ruta, who became my collaborator, and we started an NGO to just bring people together from various disciplines. We collaborate with scientists as well to see what is this water and what is this soil? What is in it? Can we actually grow vegetables there? Can we use this water to water these plants? And it's fine. And various different collaborators that we work with.
Municipalities? No?
That's Kaunas municipality. It's a little bit complicated. It's a little bit complicated. I hope it will happen in the future. That's what I can say. But
This video.
but as an NGO, we work now. We have so much experience. It's been 10 years, so we try to bring it to different places in Lithuania and travel where people want us and our work. So we worked in smaller towns like Tauragė, called Mažeikiai, and Švenčionys, which are smaller towns, and work with schools, with communities, and with municipalities who want to engage their communities and citizens to make better decisions.
Maybe to say it in a different way, Šilainiai became a kind of a testing ground for many things. I grew up in a similar Soviet-built neighborhood in a different town. And these neighborhoods were built at the end of the Soviet Union collapse. And what was missing, all the cultural centers. So they built a lot of accommodation, but there's no culture, no places to gather, no common houses, which are very common in Scandinavia, to gather for the neighborhood. So that's what we landed in Fortress. Evelina experimented a lot in the whole neighborhood. But then we landed in Fortress, and that's where we were trying to test different ideas in terms of getting to know biodiversity and the local community. So I think sometimes it's hard to institutionalize change where you started experimenting, but that's where we, I think, gathered a lot of knowledge, what could work, and then we're trying to go to other places which are willing to invite us. But Šilainiai is still kind of a testing ground and kind of a bit of activism that we have to push through some walls.
And sometimes you have to do one of them to overcome a hurdle, and that takes the barriers away for others, right? Yeah. You would say?
And it's really exciting. I mean, it's this work is so exciting. I learned so much. You asked about collaborators. I'm thinking naturalists, some bat experts that, invasive slug experts that we meet and try to understand this place and very different components of what it is. And it's really exciting. And it's quite a journey of 10 years. It's really, really exciting one.
Well, 10 years is nothing. It's like, whew, yeah, good for you that you pulled through, and build a dream. I think in your name, it says Kultur. So it's also, it says very much about culture, but nature plays an important role in it, right?
Definitely. And through the regenerative view, we always try to delete this division that humans and nature are separate.
Yeah.
And that's why we engage a lot in getting to know biodiversity and what is in there. In that specific place, we have to deal with multiple invasive species, and that also tells about our relationship, economic relationships that also make different species move differently and establish differently. So yeah, and I think food and gardening is one of the main ways how we try to show and talk about the fact that we are not separate from nature. It's not possible to be separate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you evolve? Something that came to mind. Like how do you evolve like younger generations to teach them actually?
Multiple ways. Because that's when we write applications, it's very often you have to define your target audience.
Yeah.
And for us, it's almost never possible. We try to segment them.
For everyone. Yeah.
Exactly. And when you say it's for everyone, people don't believe it. But in our place, it's actually for everyone. Everyone comes to eat.
Podcast. I say it's for everyone, but people are like...
Yeah, you need to define placemakers. Or people who like gardening. But in our activities, we merge different interests in order to attract different people, because there are no established networks yet in Lithuania, so you cannot know whose curiosity you will catch with our activities. And Evelina has done a bit more work with the local schools, you can say, if that's successful.
It is. I think... Well, in our events, young mothers come with babies in the carrier, and then there would be maybe 92-year-old who would come to a biodiversity search or urban gardening activity that she would do every day during the warm season, and this really beautiful diversity of age groups and everything that you can imagine, and that's both rewarding but also challenging to communicate that it really works in that way, because when you talk about the space, when you talk about and in a variety of ways, not only gardening, it's not only about food, it's also about being in nature, it's also about learning about nature, which is fun and exciting and interesting. It's also about a place where you can just come and sit on a bench and just have a picnic and just relax. Or it's a place which is like an oasis in the city, and you come to, I don't know, after a stressful time at school or work, come and sit and listen to a bird singing in spring. And it doesn't matter how old you are, it's a place to be. We do education activities specifically for schools that we target, and do educational programs where we travel and work with school children and teach them and give them different skills and tools for them to be active placemakers themselves, which is amazing to see when it actually works. We established one outdoor classroom in a school in Kaunas, and seeing these boy, for example, this one example where we were told by the school teachers that actually he's not doing that best at school. Maybe he's cheeky during class, but he was fantastic. He was using tools. He was fantastic in woodwork. He was leading the team. And after we left, the project was finished. He was the one that is keeping an eye on these benches and inviting his dad to help to fix these benches when fixing was required. So he became this real steward of the place, and that is exactly what we want to do. So kids are absolutely amazing, and they it's amazing to work with them.
Funny how you bring back stewardship and then it becomes full circle at the end of the conversation. Because I think with any initiative or idea, it comes with that, that sense of ownership, feeling the sense of responsibility and doing something about it. I think your project is a very nice proof of that needs to happen in cities more. So we can only create cities for all when we have all kinds of stewards.
Yeah, and our NGO name in Lithuanian, it has a bit more philosophical story, but it suggests that culture is a workshop. Culture is always evolving, and we all have a role to play to influence where it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm. So it's always collective.
Yeah, and I think I had a thought and now it's flying away, but I'm trying to catch it. I think that's why we were hesitant to start things in other places, because we take physical intervention very seriously. Because a lot of placemaking, sometimes they do a pop-up thing and then they leave it and there is no ownership. And there are examples of that in the same neighborhood where 3 years later it actually becomes a dangerous place and maybe it now plays a different role than it was intended. So that's why our physical experiments are only in that neighborhood. And what we do in other cities is always at least a year-long process. So we don't engage in one workshop or 1 month or even 3 months. My minimum would be 6 months in order to really plant that seed, that they are the stewards of what we are creating together.
Interesting. I think my mind is also wondering, because we are focusing on building a network of benches, good place benches.
Yeah.
And we talk about programming and about design, but actually every bench needs a steward to make
if it's
it.
this, or if it's like this, but you pack up and go. Pop-ups is also fine.
Papa is also fine.
But you have to think about your impact after, what you're leaving in it.
Yeah. But the steward needs to go out with the bench to be available so people can actually talk with the person, because that's what we try to facilitate, connection. And if it's something that's more permanent, then it also needs a steward to activate or to make sure that people actually come and visit and sit there and use it. Same like an urban garden. I can imagine it needs that kind of activity for others, to attract others to collaborate along. Because if it would be empty all the time, then I don't know, it needs energy. It needs love. That's also nature, right?
Yeah.
I mean, wondering, how do you keep an urban garden? Is it so popular already? I mean, from the start?
The situation with Urban Garden Fort number 8, which is called Šilainių sodai, the story is a little bit dramatic, but I will try to tell it in the shortest way possible. Yes.
A bit of drama, a bit of trauma.
A bit of everything, as in many places. So this urban garden existed since interwar period, where people carefully grew vegetables, because
Interwar is
Interwar.
between First and Second World Wars. Some people don't.
Yes. So interwar period in between First and Second World Wars. So they were growing vegetables, and then this huge housing estate of 70,000 people just was built. There were a lot of families, lots of kids, need to grow food. There was no supermarket that you can go like today and get whatever you want. So the whole area was urban gardens. And then 2018, somebody had an idea that maybe this area should not be urban gardens, because urban garden does not belong in a city. That's idea that some people think. I saw these signs. Please, urban gardeners need to not continue your activities next year. This is going to be something else. You need to move out. You're going to be in trouble basically if you continue doing this. So like, what is going on? Seeing these signs, and I started talking to these gardeners, and they this lady called Evelina, and she was in her 80s, and she said, well, we need to move out. I've been doing this for 35 years, and all I want to do is just continue gardening here, and they're just kicking me out right now. And I got really angry, and then I came back to these gardeners, and I saw that their greenhouse is being burnt. So there was arson attacks happening for these gardeners that were seniors, and they were terrified. They said, well, we feel really threatened. Other people call us illegals and criminals, that we're such a, doing criminal activity, illegally growing all these food here, and we're being here illegally. Yes, it's public land, but, they're just growing vegetables. So yes, after all of this crazy story, I got very angry and said, well, maybe I could try to do something. Maybe I'm an artist. And then found Ruta and started talking to the rest of gardeners, and the rest is history. And gardeners are still there. Gardens are still there. And I think it's going to be there for a while. But it's been a dramatic journey to get there. And
now it's active. It's alive.
Absolutely. And it came from the need. So the community back then in 2018, it was mainly seniors. What was amazing for me, that they were so brave to come out in this meeting that was in 2019 and to show their faces, to say, yes, we are here. We are gardening here. We want to continue being here. They talked to the press. They exposed themselves for the first time. And they talked to the press. They explained why it's important to them, that they come here to prolong life, that they live maybe alone in this block of flats. And this is the only activity that they have to do in this city because there's nothing else.
We had to start from reframing. These are criminals doing illegal activity, which is not supposed to be in the city. And we made our first presentation before doing any physical things there in early spring. And our main message was that these seniors are activists and that they are preserving essential skills that we all need to have and essential tradition that has been part of our life for forever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Beautiful. You change the identity of people in the city of Kaunas.
And that so depends on the storytelling, because all the articles where these are illegal people occupying public land, committing a crime, there are multiple articles of that. And now, since 2018, it changed. Oh, urban gardening is a community activity that should be encouraged in the city.
Framing, huh?
Yeah.
They call it. It's even on urban gardening level, you get framed by it.
Yeah.
Lovely both. We're heading towards the end of the show. I know you get two, but still the time, it's not double the time. Sorry. I end you're the sign holder.
Yeah.
Good job. At the end of every episode, we ask the question, what is a good place for you? How would you define a good place? You can answer that individually. To close off today's episode, who wants to start?
I can.
Good.
I think a good place is where you feel safe to express yourself.
That's what I wanted to say.
We think alike.
Yes, a good place is a place where I feel home without being at home. I think I can feel relaxed when I can feel myself, when I can feel free to express myself, and just be.
Very nice. Thank you both for taking spot here on the Good Place bench. I think it's the first time we have three on a bench. So I think we made the test. We made the test. We didn't test it. So we pulled through. Thank you so much. I hope that I can come and visit you one day in Lithuania, back in Kaunas, and that I can actually witness the projects that you're working on. We will share the links below to your project so you can people can see what it's all about. I think you described it really well, and it's great to hear the background story to this project, and also the hard work behind it. And it's nice that you found each other. Very important. Huh?
Sometimes the place connects the people. Sometimes the place finds the people that it needs.
Beautiful. Well, I'm going to say thank you. Ciao, ciao from Reggio Emilia from Placemaking Week. And it was lovely to host these conversations. Thanks also, Kristen, for hosting. We're looking forward to our next opportunity and conversation. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you.